The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Savannah Humoller, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Well, we're going to stampede into this weekend. Mm-hmm. There we go.
Yeah. Friday.
Bill's waiting. He refuses to speak.
Ah, yes. The first time the Dallas Cowboys took on the Buffalo Bills was 1971. It was a Cowboys stampede. 49-37 was the final score, and that game was played in Buffalo. I guess at Rich Stadium in Buffalo. 1971. Could this game be similar? 49-37. You'll find out here at the end of a fabulous football fight song Friday edition of Mick Shots.
Oh, so we're gonna tell them all of that, huh?
We're going to give them our predictions, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to tell you whether or not it's going to be at that high scoring. I think it's going to be high scoring. I'm not sure it's going to be 49-37.
That's a lot of points.
I predict it's going to rain.
Okay.
I want to see the box score from that game.
Well, I got it for you in a matter of moments. I'll call it up thanks to Pro Football Reference.
As a matter of fact, I think McCarthy should move up the Saturday to practice today and get outside.
Yeah, we got perfect weather conditions.
That's not a bad idea.
This is Buffalo weather now.
You know what, guys? Y'all need to stop. See, there's the guys that don't play football. They would say something like that.
You don't want to practice in the rain?
Heck no.
Well, honestly, there's a few guys out with some illnesses.
Yeah.
What's
going on there?
The flu season or the cold season or something, so maybe stay away from the rain.
It started with Micah, and it spread to the wide receiver room and the cornerback.
Well, judging from his interview yesterday, he's fine.
Yes. He was back in
back
Micah
to
form. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I love the way he described Josh Allen.
Oh,
we had.
Make sure you read my column because I transcribed it.
McCarthy says that Josh Allen reminds him of Brett Favre, and Micah says Josh Allen reminds him of who?
That guy in the frat house that always wants to go out and get drunk.
Why would he say that?
Because he said he just one of those guys that wants to have fun. It looks like to me. He said if you're playing beer pong, he'll eat the cup.
Oh wow!
Which reminded me of
he must know Josh.
Remember going back to Labor Day weekend, and Micah was back at Penn State, and there were a video that went viral. They were playing beer pong, and Saquon Barkley was there a week before the Cowboys played the Giants in the season opener. And Micah wanted some of Saquon in beer pong, and I think he got his wish, whatever. And then a week later, he got some of him on the football field.
He said, Josh looks like a guy that I'd like to go to the bar and grill with. the bar and grill.
That's good.
We have some breaking news. And I thought this would happen last night.
It already happened.
I thought it would happen last night at halftime when it was 42-0. But the Chargers have fired head coach Brandon Staley and GM Tom Telesco.
Did you hear what he said when he was asked after the game? He goes, they asked him, do you think you're going to get fired? And he goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And then it was like...
He had a gut intuition it was going down.
Sure he did.
I'm sure
gut
he
intuition. He could hear him breathing down his neck.
Yeah.
Do you think you should be the head coach? Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. It's like,
well, I mean, come on. What do you want him to say?
What is he going to say? Right?
What do you want the guy to say? You ask those questions, and then the guy tries to give a brave answer, and, Now people just say no. He's a quitter.
Right.
So come on, everybody calm
But
down.
still, to ask him that after getting whipped like that.
Right.
But you knew it once you saw this.
I remember the last press conference he had, they let somebody come back, and it was a close game. Mm-hmm. And they asked him, said, well, you guys keep giving it up in the end because of your defense. And we have a good defense. I remember him saying that.
So it was
famous last words.
0 at half last night when I checked.
Mm-hmm. I think it ended up 49.
It was 42-0 at halftime. It was 56-0
42-0 at halftime.
Third quarter.
How does that happen?
I just got tired of watching touchdowns.
Did they?
Well, here's how here's one way it happens. Now, Easton Stick, the quarterback, only threw one interception of the game. They did cough up 4 fumbles. Okay. But when you think about it, what were the chances that Easton Stick was going to have any chance in a short week? Okay, Herbert gets hurt, and Stick finds out basically on Sunday he's now the quarterback, and now you got a short week getting ready for a Thursday game and having never really played in the NFL.
And probably didn't get but one practice.
Even if that.
Right?
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. And so, people should have been jumping on the Raiders if they weren't already, even though it is the Raiders.
The Raiders. Just
based on the quarterback situation in a short week. That's tough.
Weren't they the ones that had trouble scoring last week?
Yeah, they had a little trouble.
What,
it was scoreless, and they lost to Minnesota 3-0.
They had a little trouble, just small.
So they go from 0 to 63.
They went from 0 to 60 in no time.
Yeah,
that's some get
Sounds
up and
like
go
a car commercial. That's right. My car could go 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. So did they promote Kellen Moore to interim?
Well, that's what I was looking
coach?
up here. I haven't seen what they've. I'll just search Kellen Moore and see if it comes up. Mm-hmm. Based on their offensive performance last night, Kellen Moore.
Did they talk about the general manager also being let go? Did you
yes,
say that?
he has.
He's gone.
I wasn't sure if you said that.
Yeah. So while he's looking for that, we'll go back to practicing outdoors today.
And the coach got the GM fired too. That's when you're bad. When you take someone with you, you drag them down with you. That's a tough move.
Okay, one reporter says that they're assuming it will be Kellen Moore. They'll announce it later on. So
we finally got it.
And we have news coming out of Buffalo, too.
Do tell.
Micah Hyde heading towards probably IR with the neck stinger that he had. Mm-hmm. So he is not playing. And also, how do I say it, Bill? Epineza?
A.J. Epineza.
He's out.
He made a big play early in that game, but only got 4 snaps because he got hurt.
He has a rib injury, hadn't practiced, and Sean McDermott announced both of those guys were out for this game. So, I don't know. That helps the Cowboys a little bit offensively, but the rain is still in the forecast. So they practice
the wet ball drills yesterday.
Wet footballs. And I made a point of saying footballs because last night they had the SNL Christmas show and they showed their best ofs around Christmas. And you remember the skit on the balls?
No, where are you going with this, Mickey?
I wanted to make sure after watching that I said footballs and not just balls. Okay?
Okay. All right, moving on.
I have no idea what the hell he's talking about.
I think we're going to have to YouTube this on the break so we know what's happening.
You've never seen it, right?
What's it from? It's from a comedy show or something?
SNL, Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live.
You mean, you're not talking about Sweaty, are you?
Yes. Very good.
Sweaty balls.
It made me.
They're just sweaty. They're not. It's SCHW. It wasn't. It's not SW.
It made me fall off the couch laughing last night. And I said, note to Mickey when we talk about wet tomorrow. It's wet footballs.
I remember that saying. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Mm-hmm. So that's all the breaking news we have today.
I love the way I'm just laying out. Let Mickey handle this.
Right.
Okay, Mickey.
He's leaving you hanging over.
The floor is yours.
Savannah would never do that to me on this end. At least
I handled it awfully well, too, by the way.
You did?
I tried to save you.
What else is on your legal pad, Mickey?
Joe Brady.
Yes, offensive coordinator Joe Brady, who took over a couple of weeks ago.
2 of the 3 games that he took over, they've put up 30-some points. Only 20 against Kansas City, 34 against the Eagles that got beat, and 32 against the Jets. So maybe he's tapped into something right now. I thought Sean McDermott had a nice comment. He was talking about how teams, because I was looking at Stephon Diggs' numbers over the last 3 games. They haven't been all that great. He's had 4 catches against Kansas City, 6 against the Eagles, and 4 against the Jets. And he was talking about how teams make a note of taking him away and then take their chances with everything else.
Yeah.
And somebody asked him about Gilmore having been taking on the top receiver for other teams the last game and a half, and he said I've got great admiration for his game to play at such a high level for so long. He said the key thing is he's very aware, seems to know what the routes are that are coming. And I think we've talked about that before, that he kind of, by formation, kind of knows what he has to cut off and what's okay to let him have.
And this is familiar territory for him. You know, he's been here for a while. Yeah, I mean, this area, playing against Buffalo, right? You know, he's doing well.
And so he's going
first-round draft pick of Buffalo 10 years ago.
He should feel very at home,
right?
Yeah, when he goes up there. I don't think he'll
As
be
we tease our
intimidated.
picks to
The
click.
weather itself is, what's that?
As we tease our picks to click later in the show, Stephon
yours will
Gilmore
reflect that.
kind of going back home, and he's under
so your picks to
consideration.
click will reflect that then. Is that what you're saying?
He's under consideration.
He's always looking for an angle.
Right.
Doesn't have anything to do with how they're playing, but
I would imagine that would help Bland as well.
Right.
You know, I'm sure Gilmore would tell him some things. You know, hey, man, be careful here, be careful there. In a game like this, you know, don't let things get away from you early. You know, if you can just hold things down, don't be so interception happy. You know, one thing about games like this, it's a chess match. Okay, it's not checkers. You know, you could try to jump that first out route, but then if you miss that out route and it's an out and up, then you're looking at a 60, 70-yard play or touchdown.
Right.
Well, then that adds fuel to the fire. So as a defensive back, you got to know how to keep that squashed. If they catch a 15-yard play, it's just a 15-yard play. Don't get caught up in these personal battles, because these are the kind of games where you got to keep your poise.
which is kind of what his mentality was going up against A.J. Brown, right? Caught, what did he have, 7, 9 catches?
Right.
It wasn't even 100 yards.
You don't, and so you won't call that shutdown.
Yeah.
And to me, that's an overrated term. Okay, you can let a guy catch a 10-yard route, 12-yard route. That's not going to kill you. It's the 80-yard, it's the 60-yard that's going to kill you, that brings life to the party. You don't want any life to be brought to this party. You want to make sure and keep things boring for that offense. And so that means that don't give up nothing big early.
But they've also, I noticed, been getting good production from James Cook, their running back.
That's right. That's been a
was about to ask how their
noticeable
run
difference
game.
here in the
4
last
straight
few
games of 100 yards from scrimmage. So they've been doing a better job.
Throwing to him out of the
getting him.
backfield. His game against Kansas City had 10 carries for 58 yards. Really good average per carry. And 5 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown.
Where's he from?
Georgia.
It was Georgia. That's right. That's right. Okay. So, yeah, there's other things to worry about.
And he's a guy that last year, I mean, he had Tony Pollard like 5.7 yards per carry last year on just 89 carries, but 507 yards and 21 catches out of the backfield, 8.5 yards of reception. So it's almost like they've finally unlocked the potential that James Cook always had. Of course, Dalvin Cook's younger brother.
So now you see how important Bell is going to be. It's going to be extremely important that he and J-Ron play very well this game. because they are going to do all they can to try and cross these guys up. And you're talking about Cook having the 100 yards from scrimmage. Run or pass, we have to make sure he stays contained. That's going to be their workhorse. And especially if the weather's bad, he's going to be the guy that they're going to try and use to cross up our young safeties. They saw how confused they were about 3 or 4 games back, and I'm not talking about just 3 or 4. I mean, all 3 of those games, we had some problems with our safeties.
Right.
This past game, we did not.
Right.
I'm hoping they come to play the way they did in this past game against the Eagles.
You look back even early in the season, they had a couple of games early in the year. Now, it was against Vegas and it was against Washington where they won 38-10 and 37-3. Cook in those games against Vegas, he had 17 carries for 123 yards and 4 receptions for 36. And against Washington, 15 carries, 98 yards, a couple of catches for 14 more yards. And so...
What's the offensive coordinator's name again?
Joe Brady.
Joe Brady,
the former LSU offensive coordinator.
Who went to Carolina.
On our safeties.
They didn't like him in Carolina.
Linebackers. He will concentrate on confusing them with whatever they can do with Cook. Trust me.
So there you go.
We got more.
We got him figured out. Okay. Right?
Got more on
It's
Josh.
a done deal there.
Here's the other thing with their offensive line, and we'll go to break on this. It is rare, and I haven't taken the time to do the research on it. They have not missed a start from their offensive linemen this year. Their offensive linemen have been healthy the entire season, and in fact, even their backups. They've had active for every game the same 7 or 8 offensive linemen, and haven't missed a start. Or basically haven't missed a snap from their offensive line starters. And they may be the only team in the league that can say that. All right, we continue with more Mick Shots in just a moment.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Did you know that responding to one spam call can lead to more? Or that the IRS would never ask for your social security number on the phone? Beat scammers at their own game by subscribing to AARP Fraud Watch Network alerts and texts. At aarp.org/beatscammerstx, you can sign up to receive information that helps you recognize and avoid the latest scams. That's aarp.org/beatscammerstx.
Back to Mick Shots.
K-Post Roofing and Waterproofing, the official roofer of the Dallas Cowboys.
The odds are out for the next Chargers head coach. Who do you think is at the top of the list?
Kellen Moore.
Bill? Bill's week? Bill Belichick.
Very good. Savannah's on top of her game.
Bill's week.
This is Bill's week. There's lots of Bills and
That's right.
yes, exactly.
Bill Belichick listed as 3-1 odds to become the next Chargers head coach. Kellen Moore is 4-1. Jim Harbaugh 9-1. Dan Quinn 14-1. And Lincoln Riley 14-1. So there's some names for you.
So Dan Quinn's got no better chance than Lincoln Riley.
Who's had a better season? Well, better couple of seasons.
So, by the way, Bill, if you want to know about your 5 offensive linemen,
yes,
100%, 100%, 98%, 97%, and 97% of the snaps of the starters.
Left tackle Deion Dawkins, left guard Connor McGovern, the former Dallas Cowboy, center Mitch Morse,
University
the former
of
Missouri Tiger, right guard rookie second-round draft pick Osiris Torrance, and the right tackle, a product of 8-man high school football in Iowa, Spencer Brown, who is a 6'9", 311-pounder at right tackle. You think Micah can get around that edge?
Quickly.
Yes.
Watch out.
Speaking of guys that can get around the edge, Will McClay did his little telestrator segment for the coaches show yesterday, and he showed Leonard Floyd bending that edge at 6'6", 240 pounds with his 4.6 speed, and he can still bring it around the edge.
4.6. Jeez, 6'6".
Yeah, at 6'6".
What a guy.
Ran a 4.6 at the combine.
Where was he before?
Well, he was drafted, and the Cowboys had interest in him. In 2016, he was drafted number 9 overall by the Chicago Bears.
That's right, the Bears.
And then he went to the Rams the last few years.
He won a Super Bowl there?
Yes, he was on the Super Bowl team, and he has 9.5 sacks this year, and it's now 4 straight years with at least 9.5 sacks.
He's a load.
He's coming into his own now here in the last 4 years. So,
are we worried about Dak in the pocket getting sacked potentially?
Yes.
Is that one of the biggest concerns for you guys this week?
Well, at least the Ebenezer, I got it, isn't going to be there. So that's one of the guys that was tied for second most sacks with 6.5.
Leonard Floyd was coming off the left side, which would be Terrence Steele's side, right side of the Cowboys offense.
Help
Greg
him
Russo.
out.
That's been our problem, right?
We don't need to be brave.
The right side.
And then you got a guy named Von Miller, who also is in the rotation.
Forgot about him.
So
how did I forget about that guy? We haven't even spoken about him all week.
And then you got Ed Oliver as an inside rusher,
right?
Who was also the 9th pick in the draft 4 years ago.
So the Buffalo News pointed out that replacing Ebenezer would be Kingsley Jonathan, would be the likely replacement. I'm not familiar with his work.
He was a college free agent last year. But Ebenezer he's basically in the rotation there. He got a lot of snaps.
Right. He was kind of a Dante Fowler type guy.
Guys.
Well, he's 6'5", 275 pounds.
Okay, so
second-round pick 4 years ago.
Based on what Savannah was saying, if I'm Buffalo, how do I want to attack Dak? How do I want to attack him? Do I want to sit back in the zone and watch him eat us alive, keep the score down, and play like Carolina did in regards to just playing back so far, keeping everything under control? Or do we want to come out and blitz him? Because if we come out and blitz him, we have a chance for turnovers. We have a chance for big plays on our defense. Do we want to play that way based on the weather in this game, based on the way Buffalo's offense is going to be playing? Do we want to counter? If I'm Buffalo, do I want to counter my offense with gambling and blitzing? Or do I want to stay back and play in the zone and see if we can keep them from outscoring us?
My thoughts on the subject, that you got to keep Dak from beating you, because it's a hard chore to take care of the 3 receivers and Jake Ferguson. And so if you think you're going to cover that well, I think you got a problem. So to me, I'm coming after him.
Yeah.
I want to make sure he doesn't beat me.
We don't want him comfortable in the pocket.
And that's McDermott's style, too.
Yeah.
Right. If I got a blitz, I'm blitzing.
Yeah.
As we talked about yesterday, they've got 42 sacks as a team.
Yeah.
And there's 14 different players who have sacks. And so I think they'll try to come at all angles.
Nice.
You know, I was reading, and they were giving me the 5 different things that the Bills had to take care of. And one of them was getting off to a fast start. like not falling behind, which we've talked about the Cowboys getting a lead and making people play catch up. Well, last night dawned on me, it's like, well, how many points have the Cowboys scored in the first half? It's just less than 20 points a game in the first half. And then I looked up Buffalo. They've only given up 18 point something a game. So the Cowboys were actually scoring more points in the first half than Buffalo had been giving up in the entire season in games. So something's got to break. And it'd be interesting to see if they try to open up their offense to score. And it'll be interesting to see who decides if they win the coin toss, they taking the ball or they deferring. Because the stat from last year on the coin flip and what the teams do, 250 times last year they deferred. Only 22 times did they take the ball.
But how many times did it work out? I mean, you know.
That didn't have that. Well,
right. I mean, you guys
see, everybody thinks, well, if I defer, then I can get two possessions in a row.
Double up at the end of the half.
But you're not guaranteed to get the ball at the end of the first half, right?
You're not.
You never know what will happen.
That's why
it makes no sense to me. I don't even know why they track that.
I want the ball. I'm sorry.
I don't even know why they track that crap.
Analytics.
Yeah, who cares?
I want the ball. I don't want to be behind. 5 minutes in the game and I'm down 7-0 because I let them have the ball.
Especially when you have offenses like these two, who are the top two teams in the league on third down on offense. Cowboys are number one, Buffalo's number two on third down.
So similar. They are so similar. I mean, firepower, quarterbacks, tight ends, wide receivers.
I got a quarterback that's leading the league with 28 touchdown passes. I want the ball. Now theirs has got
35 total, including his rushing touchdowns,
and they've got 25. 35 total.
Except for injuries, defensively, I think we match up very well. Also,
I just think there needs to be a lot of running the ball, and it was the same thing against Philly. We had to establish more of the run game. You have to do the same thing in Buffalo because you have to confuse the defense. You don't want Dak passing the entire time. You need to run the ball, too.
And even if they do, if they're not successfully running the ball, just get it out there in space. You know, we'll take the flare passes and things of that nature, the way we scored the touchdown. I can't remember who it was, but just be able to get Pollard or Dowling in space, or even Ferguson, to where that could be considered a running play.
Right.
We'll get 5, 6, 7 yards on that, and that could be considered.
And that's what they will do with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
The last three games, he's
thing.
run the ball 24 times for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Well, then Dak, at the same time, if you see an open space and you don't have anybody open,
go quickly.
Go.
Go quickly. I know he likes to wait, but that's when he gets in trouble, when he waits. Make up your mind. Either run it or pass it right away. And he's done very well with that.
And very well at, when he's not waiting, get out of the pocket and throw the ball.
Yes.
Throw it on the run, because he's been pretty good at that. How about this? Against the Eagles, Joe Brady's offense, 505 total yards. They had 339 passing, but Josh Allen threw the ball 51 times in that. Now, I know it was overtime, right? And they did.
That was a rainy game too.
Right.
It was.
And and they had just one possession in overtime. But yeah, it ran for touchdowns. I mean, so it's hard to figure what they'll do, because they'll get pass happy.
Well, they're going to. It's going to be a heavy dosage of Josh Allen. Heavy dosage, whether it's run or pass. The ball's going to be in his hands most of the time.
Micah pointed out that there's no sliding with him.
No,
he said he's dipping the shoulder and he's coming right after you.
So there's interception opportunities.
Yeah, or fumble, maybe, if you can get a big guy like that to fumble, right? The frat boy. He was so on his game yesterday. So on his game. And then they got him going on the not getting any holding calls. And he goes, well, they were said something like, well, if you complain, maybe that makes it worse. And he goes, How can it be worse? He goes, I'm not complaining, and I'm not getting holding calls. And if I complain, I'm still not getting holding calls. So
I mean, the referee
might as well complain.
That referee had to feel like crap. I forget the game. I mean, clearly he was being just dragged down.
Well, the guy wrote his back to the quarterback.
That's what he was fussing at the ref.
Yeah.
And he was doing, I mean, the ref had to be like, okay, calm down, bro, because you're embarrassing me. I know I missed it. Everyone knows I missed it in the arena.
He called the game, and he said, you're playing in Buffalo. This is going to be an extreme game. And he compared the Buffalo fans to Packer fans, too.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah. That
good
they're
comparison.
very loyal.
They are
Involved
very
in the
loyal.
game. They want they got the jumping in the stands.
And as
The
I said,
tables, you jump on the
my God.
tables.
they're still bristling over those back-to-back Super Bowl losses.
They
too.
might be a little more out there than the Green Bay fans.
Yeah, Green Bay fans, they're not jumping on tables.
The Green Bay fans just wear like the cheese blocks for the, but they're not jumping on tables.
Or getting on top of the RVs and mooning the bus as we left that one year.
That was Green Bay?
No, it was Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yes.
Okay.
You missed that, huh, Bill?
I've never been to Buffalo.
You never been?
I've never been
Have
there.
you never been to Niagara Falls?
Nope. I've been to Toronto.
I've been to Niagara Falls.
Yeah,
I played
twice.
in Cleveland.
Yeah, these guys were talking about going in the TV department, going before the game on Sunday. I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "You're going to take that chance of something going wrong?" Oh, we're just going to Uber. I said, "Well, what if you don't get an Uber ride?" Well, it's a 4:25 start. I said, "Have at it." I've seen them.
All right. Coming up next.
Oh no.
It's our prediction.
Did you give this a lot of thought?
I have given it some.
See?
I'm still pondering it, though. I haven't come down to we'll know here in a matter of moments what our big predictions and picks to click are for our trip to Niagara Falls this weekend.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Did you know that responding to one spam call can lead to more? Or that the IRS would never ask for your social security number on the phone? Beat scammers at their own game by subscribing to AARP Fraud Watch Network alerts and texts. At aarp.org/beatscammerstx, you can sign up to receive information that helps you recognize and avoid the latest scams. That's aarp.org/beatscammerstx.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Back to Mick Shots.
DeMarcus Lawrence is the Dallas Cowboys nominee for the 2023 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award presented by Nationwide. Help Tank raise funds for Dak Prescott's Faith, Fight, Finish Foundation by casting your vote on NFL.com/Man of the Year or tweet your support using the hashtag WPMOY Challenge. Voting ends on January 8th. Vote for Tank.
Tank.
All right.
Marcus Lawrence.
And Dak's up for the Sportsmanship Award.
I saw that. Rooney?
Yes, the Rooney Sportsmanship Award.
I didn't
one
even
of
know
8
that was out
finalists.
there.
Man, what hasn't he won?
Yeah. Well, there is one thing, but the Cowboys are on their road to that.
We're
Everson.
What I
going
meant
towards
was,
it.
as an individual, golly, guys, jeez, y'all are
brings
so
me-
hard.
Hey, we're very
brings
literal
me
here.
to Dallas versus Buffalo. And the first time the Cowboys ventured to Buffalo, New York, it was War Memorial Stadium, second to last year of that venerable old stomping ground. And the Cowboys won 49-37. Everson asked the question, what happened in that game?
How was the box score? Yeah.
I got the box score called up. Calvin Hill, 22 carries, 84 yards, and 4 touchdowns in that game. Walt Garrison, 16 carries, 78 yards, and a touchdown. It was a game started by Craig Morton at quarterback. He was 10 out of 14 for 221 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That was easy work.
Roger.
And the Cowboys intercepted Dennis Shaw 3 times. Chuck Howley, Leroy Jordan, and Charlie Waters with interceptions in that
Chuck.
game.
Chuck.
What about Bob Hayes? Was he in that game?
Bob Hayes, yes, he had 2 catches for 91 yards and a touchdown.
Of course he did.
Of course.
Mike Ditka had 2 catches for 35 yards.
2 for 91. Probably one
One
was
of them was
80.
for 9.
And the most notable player for the Buffalo Bills was a guy by the name of O.J. Simpson, who had 14 carries for only 25 yards. and a
Shut him
touchdown.
down.
Yeah, he must have been young. Must have been a young OJ.
Well, it was 1971.
Young
so
juice.
There you go. A trip down Cowboys
Thank you there,
Bills
will you?
We
memory
love it.
lane. But our most memorable Cowboys Bills game would be the 2007 affair, right, Mickey?
Yes.
Which was a Monday night game where Tony Romo threw not 1, not 2,
You ain't got time for
not
that.
3, not 4, but 5 interceptions. 2 of them returned for touchdowns.
Hey, how many in the first half?
I think they all were.
I think they all were in the first half.
No, I think
this is
so.
a
I
bit. This is
believe
going
that.
down a memory lane that isn't great.
No, it's about to turn for you.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Young Savannah, it's about to turn for you because the Cowboys were trailing with 16 seconds left in the game. They get a kickoff, and they complete 2 passes, and then Nick Folk kicks a 53-yard field goal to win the game,
Crazy.
25-24.
Crazy.
How about that, Cowboys Bills?
13-3 season.
Wasn't that crazy?
I remember watching it.
Cowboys went 13-3 and then went to Cabo.
Does it have who had the interceptions?
The Giants came in and kicked out.
The interceptions in that game?
Oh, the
Was
seven-
it linebacker?
Well, I got it. Oh, for the
For the
07
Bills.
game?
You always got to have
That
the
was the
side
year
comments.
that Eli, right? That was the year that they
I have to-
went all the way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They went through Green Bay, came through Dallas.
Hold on a
went through Green
second.
Bay.
I'll have to
That's
fast
when they
forward
beat
to
Favre with the
2007.
interception I was talking about yesterday.
They were playing, as I remember, they were playing like a Tampa 2, Buffalo.
Yeah.
And they were dropping the linebackers deep. And Romo insisted that he could throw over the linebacker but before the safety. And they kept intercepting the ball. And he kept trying until the second half. And then he figured out, okay, I can't do that. We're going to have to throw shorter routes.
So he's smarter now in the booth
Yeah.
Was
than
that
he
in
was
Buffalo?
then as a player.
It was in Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, it was a Monday night game in Buffalo. And your question was, it was Buffalo led 17-10 at the half. George Wilson had a 25-yard interception return to start the game for the Bills, 7-0. And Chris Kelsey had an interception in the end zone. What? Oh, so in the end zone. I guess Romo was throwing out of the end zone, and Chris Kelsey picked it off in the end zone for a
that one,
touchdown,
yeah.
17-7.
I think that was just like a 10-yard return or something. wasn't it?
Folk kicked a field goal to end the first half to make it 17-10. Terrence McGee for Buffalo had a 103-yard kickoff return for a touchdown to make it 24-13.
I don't want that kind of game
in
this
the
week.
third
Jeez,
quarter.
they can have
And then the
that.
Cowboys rally in the fourth. A Folk field goal. Then a Patrick. Oh, here's what I don't remember this part of it. Cowboys recovered an onside kick, I guess.
Well, they had to catch up.
Okay,
right?
that was what it was. Romo to Patrick Creighton with 20 seconds left in the game.
Yes.
Made it, and then they went for two. It made it 24-22. Went for two. It failed. Then it was the onside kick that set up the Nick Folk 53-yard field goal.
So Buffalo, they didn't know it was coming.
Real funny.
Come on, man. You didn't know it was coming?
I mean,
come on.
It was the last time that an
Jeez,
onside
you
kick
didn't know
was
it was
successful until the watermelon kick.
That was
Watermelon kick.
that was
Golly.
folks' rookie year.
An onside kick, jeez.
Yeah, why didn't we think of that? So anyway,
Folks' rookie year.
It probably had to be. It's
Had to
16
be,
years
right?
ago. All right, so
First time he had tried an onside kick, if I remember.
Wow.
So they got the onside kick recovered by Tony Curtis, backup tight end Tony Curtis.
Practice each day. You gonna practice onside kicks?
All right.
As a kicker?
So the Cowboys get the
You
ball
got
with
nothing else to do all day.
Cowboys get the ball with 18
Well, you
seconds
might have
left.
Practiced it.
18 seconds left. Buffalo 47-yard line. It was like a 23-yard onside kick. They from their own 30, it was recovered at the Buffalo 47.
Must have been one of those.
It was one of
hit it
those
over the top
and then mad race for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was an incomplete pass to T.O., and then with 13 seconds left, 2nd and 10, complete to Barber for 4. That got him to the 43, and then 8 yards to Patrick Creighton to the 35-yard line with 2 seconds left. On comes Nick Folk, 53-yard field goal. See you later, Buffalo, 25-24.
We're leaving.
Let's go.
And go ahead and
I'm watching that on YouTube.
and moon us on the way.
When I leave out of here.
Moon us on the way out too. By the
entire
way.
game
All right.
on YouTube.
Prediction and pick to click.
All right. I like that narrative you just had. I'm going to go with Cowboys 33-30. Speaking of game-winning field goals, Aubrey is going to kick the game winner to put the Cowboys over the stop.
33
All
points. That
right.
means he's
How long's that field goal going to be? You got to pick up
Hold on.
longest field goal.
All right. It's going to be, the weather's going to be bad, so I'm going to say 41 yards.
So you're thinking 4 field goals. He goes 4 for 4 on field goals.
Oh, I don't know about field goals. We could go
get
for
to
2
20.
pointers. We could go for 2
Could
pointers.
miss an extra point.
Yeah.
The easiest way to
much.
get to 33 would be 3 touchdowns and 4 field goals.
Yeah, that would be the easiest way, but we don't do things easy around here, William. 41 yarder for a winner.
All right.
Savannah, Georgia.
And your pick to click is
Aubrey.
Aubrey.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to note that this is a must-win game for the Bills. They
It is.
are fighting for a.
She's gonna pick the
Go
Bills.
ahead, do it.
I ain't mad at it. Not mad. Let's
However, we are bringing the heat on defense. So I am going with the Cowboys winning 30-24. Micah Parsons for my click to pick with 2 sacks.
Gotcha.
2 sacks.
And what'll be the longest field goal in the game?
Bill, you
yeah.
inspired me. We're going with 53.
Oh, 53. There you go.
53.
All right. I like that.
All right. I've got the Cowboys winning 24-20. And my pick to click will be Donovan Wilson. And the longest field goal will be 45 yards.
What's the score again, Spag?
24-20.
24-20.
That's right.
And the longest field goal is what?
45 yards.
45.
Okay.
What was your pick to click?
Donovan Wilson.
Oh, nice.
I got Dono.
I hope so, baby.
Okay.
All right, Bill.
All right. I am going with a high-scoring affair. Not quite 49-37.
How long was the field goal?
45.
45.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm going to go 40-37. Cowboys. And the longest field goal will be a 50-yarder from one Brandon Aubrey. One of 4 field goals for him. So there'd be 4 touchdowns and 4 field goals. And in honor of the great Calvin Hill, Tony Pollard is my pick to click. And I'm not going to say he's going to score 4 touchdowns, but I'll half that. I'll give him 2 touchdowns.
Nice.
Okay.
100 yards?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay.
At least 100.
We're going 100 yards. You know, Pollard has shown a little some bursts there once he gets to that second level that I've enjoyed seeing here in the last few weeks.
He's actually run over a few people.
Yes, he has.
Yep. So,
and how long was the field goal?
50-yarder.
No, yeah.
By Aubrey to win the game after an onside kick in 40-37 in honor of Nick Folk.
I got the longest one, 53.
You do? Yes. That's right.
In honor of Nick Folk.
That's right.
Exactly.
This is the Nick Folk game. No, that was the Nick Folk game, right? The 25-24 game.
Yeah.
Since we've mentioned Nick Folk so much here. Okay.
I think he's still kicking for somebody.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
He's still kicking.
Yep. All
Ageless position.
Do you have a parting Mick shot? Because we haven't run over today for some reason.
We have.
That's
oh, no, we haven't.
12:45.
Oh,
I mean, we got
we got to
another-
stretch it out.
we
We
got
got to
another
come up with
4 minutes
something.
here.
Yeah, based on our standards, yeah.
He's pondering a parting Mick shot here.
I was trying to think of one other thing Micah Parsons would have said that was just absolutely
You're making an appearance
funny.
in Buffalo?
I don't believe we are.
Oh.
I don't
like you
know
would
if that
know
was
that.
it was not a big destination game for the Cowboy fan.
No, not.
To go to Buffalo in
December?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just remember, though, when you're watching the game, and I think it's on the Bills' sideline, so the TV camera's probably facing that way. When you see all this red up in the stadium, that's they're under the deck. They have heating lamps up there to keep the suite people or the club people warmer. When
That's
they
where
renovated
Mickey watches
the stadium. No, I bet the press box is cold. I remember going to Green Bay and the press box was cold.
Why?
Because they didn't have much heat in Lambeau Field.
Stupid. I mean, come on, man. Golly. Certain things are just.
They heated the field, but they really didn't heat the press box. Or going to Philadelphia and they'd leave the window open in the visitors' press box because the camera had to have an open window. So they would leave it open. And then the cameraman would leave and it was still open.
You know, they treat you guys like crap.
They did.
And y'all just take
Deservedly
it.
so.
Y'all just take it. They just take it.
I'm beginning to regret asking Mick for a parting Mick
We're
shot.
done.
That was
We're
good.
done.
I think we're done.
It's because people are going to wonder why it's red up there.
Okay, and so the Cowboys will still be in. Will they be all alone? No, the Eagles play. By the way, the Eagles play on Monday night at Seattle. So the Cowboys on by Sunday night could be all alone in first place
if Seattle
in the
wins.
NFC East. Now I'm saying before that game is played, the Cowboys will have a half-game lead.
Yeah,
could be
because
all
they
alone in
still
first
will
place
be
with
Exactly.
Buffalo.
That's right.
And so this
very
is the
briefly.
season now, right after the game.
And having clinched a playoff spot.
That's right. Clinch a
go.
playoff spot, and we've got an NFL triple header tomorrow, by the way. You got 3 games to watch on the NFL Network starting at noon tomorrow.
Saturday full of football.
Yep.
Nice.
This is like old times.
I love it.
And
I love it.
UIL state championships at AT&T Stadium.
Oh, look up the
right.
score. What's Anna doing?
Anna was up 26-0 at halftime. So
Good for
that's
Foster.
you. Yep. And then you got Aledo playing tonight. And you got South Oak Cliff playing at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Duncanville, I think, is the 3 o'clock game. And then tomorrow night, DeSoto.
And unfortunately, they're all on Bally Sports.
Then, unfortunately. That's
Why
right.
is that unfortunate?
Because we can't
some
see
of
it.
us don't get Bally Sports. We are stubborn in our ways, and we're not changing.
So that's a personal thing?
Yes.
I have to get the story on that one of these days.
Weren't able to watch the Rangers until they finally made the postseason. Okay, that does it for this edition of Mick Shots, and we will shout at you again on Monday when the Cowboys will be all alone in first place in the NFC East.
Go Cowboys!
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!